thought I would sit down and just have a moment of appreciation for this Seiko 5. This was my very first Seiko, and I gotta say it's my favorite Seiko. Of the two Seiko 5s that I've got, this is definitely my favorite. And I prefer this to the, what is it called, Speed Timer, which I'm not so crazy about. I don't know why. But this is a really good watch. I love that raised Seiko logo. You know, this watch had a whole nother life before I got it. But it must have been a relatively easy life because it's a pretty schmicko piece. It was dirty when I got it. And it cleaned up really nicely. It's running about 15 seconds fast a day. And I gotta say, in practice, aside from having no 24-hour hand and being a little fast, it serves me just about as well as the Explorer 2. Doesn't give me that edge of confidence maybe, but you don't need that unless you're going into like a Rolex AD, or unless you're going watch shopping, hanging out with watch people. Love having the day, and I like having the date. That's an interesting textured dial. So let me get it off my wrist and let's take a closer look. All right, so it's got this Jubilee-esque bracelet, and this is very comfortable. In fact, I know from this bracelet being so comfortable that a Jubilee would be a really comfortable bracelet, which is what I've heard. More so than the Oyster. We'll be addressing Jubilees in the future, I assure you. Especially since here in Japan they've announced a 2% increase in sales taxes starting next year, a year from now. So October 2019 is going to go from 8% to 10%. So if you're in Japan, now's the time to buy your cars, buy your watches, buy your Jubilee bracelets from your service center. You got a year to do it. So my other Seiko 5 doesn't have the crown at the 4 o'clock, which is very characteristic of Seiko 5. And, you know, I think all Seiko 5s should adhere to that standard. Well, not standard, but that sort of aesthetic. Interesting hands. The black, well, I wouldn't call them tipped, but I mean they're it's almost like well, I'm at a loss for words, but as you can see, it's not just a metal hand, it's like a painted metal. Now, the case I'm pretty sure is unpolished. I mean, I don't think really anybody's gonna go out of their way to polish this, but check out those lugs. Very different than the way Rolex does it, with the lugs tapering down into the chamfers. You know, if you're all about polishing your pieces, I guess this would be a better way to hide the polishes. When it comes to the Rolex cases, a few polishes are pretty obvious if you look closely, and that can be a good thing, because if you're shopping for pre-owned Rolexes, then taking a look at those chamfers and those lugs is a great way to see just how much polishing your pieces had. But as an owner, it might dissuade you from polishing. So in that sense, this is perhaps more polish friendly. Although, you know, I wouldn't This is one of those watches that I don't know that I would service. If I did, it would just replace the movement. And honestly, I just wouldn't do it. I'd probably buy another one, which, if you're unaware, I paid about, I want to say between $40 and $50 for this watch. And let me tell you, I have gotten my money's worth. I feel like I got my money's worth just today on it. Let's take a look at the back. That's right, folks. It's a genuine Seiko. Yeah, I'm in this period of just really appreciating this simple, honest watch. And it's a fun place to be. It won't last. The one truth that I've derived in my interest in horology and watches is that tastes and changes shift, and what you're happy with changes, and you can be a one watch guy today, and tomorrow you can go out and buy several high-end pieces, or I haven't done that really. Kind of spread those purchases out over a while, but yeah, bottom line is, as happy as I am with this piece right now, in a month I just might look down and say, I gotta get this damn thing off my wrist, and fast. There's real inconsistencies in my tastes, in my whims, I should say. It troubles me. I don't like it. I would like to appreciate and be appreciative for the duration of my days. It's like having a nice wife. You get used to her, and you may not appreciate her, and you may take her for granted, and watches are the same way. You wear it on your wrist and you get tired of it, and you just need to take a break and revisit it. You can't do that with a person. You can't do that with a wife. You can't put her on a shelf, but you can with a watch. You can get it back out and rediscover it. And I've rediscovered this watch, and I'm sure in a couple months I'll rediscover the Explorer 2, or some of those other Rolexes that really just get attention when I wind them once a month, which drives people nuts, and I understand it. All right, guys, well, hey, a little appreciation this beautiful sunny day. This is it's an October day, and it's just fantastic weather, absolutely fantastic weather, and the sun is beautiful. There's a crispness in the air, and the sunlight has that fall glow to it, which made me really want to just get some footage of this. All right, guys, well, take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time.